Hey everybody, welcome back to Mermaid Rising Tarot. I'm Mermaid Becca and I am doing a VR video with the hashtag Coffee House Decks. This is a VR to Kay at Admits to Gray. She started this hashtag and I think it's super fun. I love coffee houses, all that stuff. So let's get into the first tag. We've got the Espresso. It is a deck that's strong, punchy, and is straight to the point. And so I was trying to think of the one that is like that for me. And I'm going to have to say the Darkwood Tarot by Sasha Graham is my strong espresso shot. It is... Oops, I'm upside down. It is going to tell you exactly what you need to hear. And this is that deck for me. And it is a little bit of a dark Alice in Wonderland kind of feel to it. And oops. It reads really, really good. And the artwork is beautiful. And here are the backs. So that is my espresso. Number 2 is drip, the type of coffee that you make in your coffee maker. And it is simple, accessible, and gets the job done. And for me, that one is going to be my Dreaming Way Tarot by Rome Choi. This is US Games. And yeah, so this one is very simple, accessible, and gets the job done. This was one of my very first tarot decks. As I was trying to get to learn tarot again, this is the one that really, the artwork spoke to me. It was very vintage. It was very relatable. It's an easy read. The artwork is simple and beautiful. Love that devil. I don't feel like there's another deck that has the same feel. It just it's not quite a limited color palette, but it does have those black, gray, white, and green with little pops of color here and there that are just perfect. And look at that Two of Swords and that Sun card. It's amazing. So this for me was the deck I feel like I really learned tarot with. And I've mentioned it before, it is my soul deck, but this is my drip. This is my go-to. And here's the backs. Number 3 is our pour over coffee. That's going to be the type of coffee that you have like that little cone over your cup and the filter, and you pour a little bit and let it bloom, and you pour a little bit and let it bloom. And so this is a deck that you take your time with, but it's totally worth it. So for me, that is... Did I bring it down? Let's see. So I'm going through my decks. I thought I just pulled it up. There it is. Oh, it was under my box. Here we go. So I picked, now this actually could be 2 decks here that fit this spot for your pour over coffee. It is the Thoth deck by Aleister Crowley. And then I also have my Spirit Keeper's Tarot Relevation edition, and that is by Benabel Wynn. And both of these are such deep dives, and I had planned on doing a deep dive with both of these in 2022, which did not happen. The year was super busy. This also is one that's going to be a little bit more of a Thoth deck that fits a little bit. It's a little bit bigger than a tarot size, but like smaller than the Thoth deck, so it fits in your hands really, really well. And it has like this slight grayish green, which makes it almost like a greenie deck without the cost of the greenie. And I had found this, it's an AGM deck on eBay for $17. I just saw the price of it recently, and it's upwards of 80 something. And I have been dying to tap into that Thoth, but again, I haven't had the time, and this year really kind of flew by for me. And so I felt like I never even took it out because I didn't feel like I had the time to even sit with it, other than flipping through it and looking at all of the beautiful artwork. And I would love to just take the time to delve into all the deep symbolism with it. So this would be a pour over coffee for me. And here's the backs. So I kind of have 2 that fit this spot. That's why I took 2 out. So I know this will be probably more than 13 decks. But these both really do fit this spot. It's the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. It smells amazing. She put some beautiful essential oils in with this deck. And I've done nothing but just Google over it. And it is gilded. Smells divine. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so here's the beautiful backs. This is the colored version. And I knew there was going to be a colored version, so I was waiting for it. But this again, somebody said you could just pull it out and not do the deep dive with it because the artwork is so beautiful, and it is just a regular tarot deck that you could just read with. And I hadn't even thought of it because it just smells so sacred and beautiful, and there's so much that you could just sit and delve into, and it truly is a work of art. I love this deck, and I'm so excited that I have it in my collection. And I do plan on taking both of these decks out this year and trying to spend a little more time with them. So yep, again, there's the backs. So this also fits my bill for the pour over coffee. The next prompt we have is Cafe Latte. This is a well-received and highly palatable deck. This was something I found on eBay, and this was probably one of the first tarot decks I've seen probably in my little small town. that was probably accessible at the time, but didn't get. And so now I've gotten this one off of eBay. It's the Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sherman Burke and Liz Green. I forget which year this one is. Here's the backs. 1986. So it's a 1986 version. I just feel like this is a really easy read. And so many people, probably more along my age group, got started with this deck, or have seen this deck, or have had friends that have had this deck. And so this kind of feels like an old friend and a reconnection with old friends at the coffee shop having a cafe latte. So that is the Mythic Tarot. Okay, so Cappuccino is number 5. It is a deck that's classic, sophisticated, stylish, and a little bit fussy. And my pick for the Cappuccino is the Tarot Mucha. This to me is like my stylish, classy deck. And I do sometimes feel like I have a little bit of a harder time reading with this deck sometimes. Here's the backs. They're gorgeous. It's very, there is a lot to look at in this deck. I think that's what gets me swept away each time I do take it out. It's not going to be a quick read. It's very vintage feeling, very romantic. And I just want to sit with it. And so I feel like I don't quite get a quick read. And so I probably don't pull this one as often as I should. I just get lost in the artwork. I just actually do love spending a little bit more time with this deck. So when I have more time, this is the one I like to pull out. It's just very, very chic. That is the Tarot Mucha. And it is a low Scarabeo deck. So number 6 was, the prompt for that was a mocha coffee. And when Kay mentioned mocha coffee, all I could think of was, and I don't know if anybody else remembers this out there, it was Garden Botanica. It was in the only mall that was in my small town, and it was a little coffee shop inside the mall. And you went in there, and it had all these all-natural makeup products, lotions, and lipstick, and lip glosses, and eyeshadows. But inside it was a coffee shop. It was really weird. It was like coffee and beauty all in one. Garden Botanica. And their mocha was an iced mocha with the whipped cream and the chocolate drizzle on top. And it was rich, indulgent, and just that little bit of extra special. So for my mocha deck, I'm pulling out my Fydor Pavlov Tarot. This is the box is gorgeous, for one. It is a little bit of a more expensive deck. It's it's the second deck I have that has a hardcover guidebook like this, and it's colored. I mean, look, it's just like beautiful inside. It is linen cardstock. So it's so dreamy. The colors are just beautiful, and I love the stars. And we've got this gold gilding. And if you haven't noticed, I love like very vintage feel kind of vibes to my decks for some of them. This one has a little bit more of a limited color palette, and I feel like the messages are just really good. I feel like this is a deck that's not just for people who are of different genders or non-binary or gay or any of that. It is, I don't know, it's just a deck that speaks to my heart, and it does feel very rich. This is one of my favorite death cards. And a beautiful justice card. And here's our wheel. I mean, I have nothing negative to say about this deck. I love everything about it. It feels fabulous in your hands. It shuffles really well. It reads very easy. And it feels like it takes you to another era. So this is my Mocha. Okay, so the next tag we have is the Cortado, number 7. So this is a deck that makes you feel or is balanced and objective. And for that one, so this one's out of print, I'm so sorry, but this is my Arcus Arcanum Tarot. I found this on eBay. It is an AGM Urania deck. I think I've only seen one other tarot person who showed this deck, and I just absolutely fell in love with it, and I just was on the hunt for it ever since. It's the most balanced deck I have that has, and here's the backs, they're gorgeous. It has a very equal balance of feminine and masculine energy, which I don't find. Decks are either, you know, very feminine, or they just don't have as much masculinity in them as I found in this deck. And I just love the imagery. It's almost kind of takes you back to that He-Man She-Ra era. And I know there is a He-Man She-Ra deck out there. This is not it, but this is pretty close to that kind of feeling. I don't know, I just fell in love with this deck. Let me show a little bit more. Beautiful strength card. Ace of Wands. The Moon. The Sun. The Magician. The Star. I love that Star card. Anywho, so this one fits the bill for the Cortado, balanced and objective. Okay, so for number 8, which is the Panna. It is a deck that puts you in your place with a hint of sweetness. And for the Capuchinno, I, of course, chose my Alice in Wonderland Tarot deck. This is by Disney. I was so excited for this. It's so sweet. I just love the Queen. Here's the backs. They're really beautiful. And then it has these little hedgehogs for in the cups. So it is a little bit pippish, but it is just a sweet little deck, and I love the spears. It's straight to the point too. It tells you like you need to hear it, with just these sweet little hedgehogs. And a bit of fantasy and fairy tale and going down that little rabbit hole with Alice. This is a joyful deck. The flowers. So this is my Campagna. So for the next one, number 9, we have Chai Latte. This is a deck that's warm, cozy, and nurturing. And I chose The Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. This is that warm, fuzzy deck. It has all the good feels. The colors are just very gentle and soft. These are the backs. Has a lot of mermaids in it, oceany, dreamy. It's very soft and gentle in all of its messages. This is my chai latte. The Good Tarot. Okay, so for number 10, we're at number 10. We've got Matcha Latte, and this is a deck that has an acquired taste, and it is unconventional. For that one, it's going to be and this might surprise you. It is the Zombie Tarot. I love this deck. It's so quirky and fun, and honestly, it tells it like it is. It's got these really fun fortune teller type kind of backs with these little almost like a, I can't think of what the word is, but anywho, it's so unconventional. But it honestly, it makes me giggle. Like, when you do readings with this, it will tell you what you need to see, what you need to hear, and it puts like this really funny spin on it. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, it cracks me up. I use it more than just around the Halloween and Samhain time, for sure. It puts a whole new spin on tarot. Oh, this one makes me giggle. This one makes me giggle. Okay, so that is my matcha latte. We are at number 11, which would be a hot chocolate. This speaks to the younger version of yourself. And I totally have a deck that speaks to that. It is the Mystical Medleys vintage cartoon tarot. Oh my gosh, if you grew up watching these back in the day, oh my god, so much fun. It is like, this is like Saturday mornings cereal tarot cartoons. It is hilarious. If I'm really feeling down, and it has a little hard book, it's super cute, and it's all colored as well. There's some different tarot spreads in here, and god, it's just so funny. I just love this deck. This speaks to my youth and the carefree days of playing outdoors all day long, running through the garden, hanging out with my friend and her animals and taking care of them, and having forts out in the woods and picking flowers and making structures and offerings to the fairies, and being that free, innocent spirit as a kid where everything is possible. This is such a fun deck. Sad squirrel. And happy squirrel. And the Ten of Swords. It's a great deck. So that is my hot chocolate. Number 12 is Italian soda. So this is a deck that's fun, low-key, and not too serious. So I ended up picking Tarot of Mystical Moments. So this is my Italian soda deck for number 12. It is fun, low-key, and not too serious. The artwork is very fantasy driven. The backs are very dreamy and pretty. It has silver gilding edges, and you can go deeper with these decks in the imagery, but a lot of times you don't have to. You can look at the lighthearted, fun, quirky side of this deck and maybe see a different spin on how that tarot card would read based on the imagery that she has provided. Again, this deck takes you to a magical, whimsical place where all things are possible. This is a very Mary Poppins kind of deck for me. My Italian soda. And lastly, we have number 13. This is going to be my Herbal Tea deck. And for my Herbal Tea deck, I am picking the Mythic Tarot by Linda Ravenscroft. The text is by Barbara Moore. And this, I'm a gardener. And I do love tea. I've got some kombucha tea brewing this evening as I'm doing this video. Here are the beautiful botanical backs. And I love making sun tea out in the garden too from some of the flowers. And you can just take this deck outside with you with your cup of tea and sit in the garden and listen to what the fairies have to say. It's earthy. It's soft, it's kind of dreamy and whisks you away to another magical place. And of course, there's mermaids. I love the mermaids. Mermaids and fairies. Why not? This is my herbal tea. This was so much fun, Kay. Thanks so much for starting this hashtag, and I'm super excited to join in and share my decks. So, thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me, and we will see you all in the next tag video. Thanks for hanging out with me at Mermaid Rising Tarot, and we'll see you next time. Bye.